fire, 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 fire. Alright, chat. Pedro Pascal is everything wrong with Hollywood. He's creepy. Ooh. You know what's sad is that everybody really liked him at first. Especially after Game of Thrones.
There's something really weird going on with Pedro Pascal, because just in a couple of years, he's now seemingly everywhere. In just the last month alone, he's been in 3 major movies: Materialist, Eddington, and The Fantastic Four. This is combined with The Last of Us Season 2, The Mandalorian, and the Grogu movie announcement.
Yeah, everybody really liked him in The Mandalorian, didn't they?
Along with his upcoming Marvel commitments. It's like almost everywhere you turn, there's Pedro Pascal everywhere. He's constantly being adorned in the media. He's in every single major movie and TV show, and his omnipresence is almost overwhelming. So what's the formula to his success? Why is he suddenly everywhere? What's the reason for all of this? Well, he himself is—
Well, he was a really good actor in Game of Thrones. Everybody really liked the character that he played back then. And I think it just kind of snowballed from there, no?
Actually said that in high-stress situations, quote, there's a certain level of anxiety that helps me do good work. It helps me be aware of the things I need to be aware of. Anxiety is something I've lived with since I was a child, so it's part of my chemistry. I don't know what kind of person I'd be without it. It's something that I manage, but it's also part of what makes me, me.
Sure.
And you see, he always mentions—
That sounds like a normal thing to say. I've said this before on stream. Doesn't even live in Chile, but Pro tried to change the constitution back in 2022. Okay, that's very cringe. Yeah, what the frick?
that he has this struggle with constant anxiety, and that this anxiety leads him to being more successful and work even harder. But when the anxiety is too overwhelming, he copes with this with physical touch and affection. But this whole facade of being this likable, relatable guy, whilst being one of the biggest Hollywood stars in the world right now, is leading to some public scrutiny online, as he appears to try and be this likable, relatable guy who struggles too, just like the common man, having—
Okay, hold on, I've never seen him hugging or touching, like, male people, or, that other chick from The Last of Us. Yeah, why didn't you touch her, huh? Why am I constantly seeing videos of him touching the hot chick?
Anxiety and emotional issues. But when you actually look at his behavior, it seems like this is completely false, and he's using this whole identity to have public affairs in public while not ruining—
Okay, alright, there's one. Yeah. That's William Dafoe, isn't it?
His massive success in Hollywood at the same time. You see, if he was openly having affairs and sleeping with everyone in Hollywood, that wouldn't go very well with his wholesome, likable image.
No.
His family-friendly, inclusive image is essential to all of his Hollywood roles, and yet there seems to be this strange side of his personality that keeps creeping up. And so coincidentally, it seems like his PR team has spun up this word of anxiety to mask all of his strange behavior. But
I do think there's a lot of people that have coping mechanisms of being touchy, but there has to be like a line. For me personally, I hate like when people I don't know try to like hug me and shit, or like, I don't know, there's a line. Obviously, if like you're friends with like my mom or something, and you're like my mom's best friend, or like an old friend that she hasn't seen in a long time, and you come up to hug me, I'll be more accepting of that, because it's like there's layers of trust to it. It's like, if my mom trusts you, I trust you. But if it's just some fucking rando, I hate that. Like, they're like, oh my god, Alana! And I'm like, don't touch me!
Now it's becoming too obvious, as we've seen with the new Fantastic Four movie press tour, where he's been constantly touching, hugging, stroking, and so obviously being physical with his co-star Vanessa Kirby.
That's...
I've been busy.
I know, baby.
Answering questions about you.
You can't believe me alone that long.
But doesn't he also play her husband? I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm a huggy person, but I get that. No. It depends on the situation. Everybody's different. I'm not trying to like discredit and say like, oh, if you like hugs and shit, like you're weird or something. Yeah, but she has a husband IRL. Yeah, but some of these actors, okay, this is a phenomenon I've learned, like, over the years of watching, like, really crazy actors. They love to, like, take it too far with their characters and shit. Should you just say baby so they don't get the name wrong? Ooh, whoa, tinfoil hat right there. Okay, hold on, I'm taking out my tinfoil hat right now. You like that?
That's a little too long.
From stroking hands, Kirby literally stroking his face, and the two—
That's weird. I don't know, it's just so weird.
just hugging all the time in public has made people wonder what's really going on behind the scenes, especially when Pedro put his hands over Vanessa, smiling as though they're in a relationship about to have a baby together, all while she's—
Look, it's just so weird. I don't know. If they weren't married, it wouldn't be so strange.
pregnant with her fiance, and it—
Method acting? Again, I can't help but think that the movie's done shooting, so why are you method acting? I would understand to an extent if it was like on set, you know? Yeah, if it's on set, I understand like how actors method act and they might like, you know, still act like they are their characters because they're husband and wife in this movie instance, but this is very bizarre behavior. That's just my theory.
turned out that this wasn't even the only time his anxiety has led to some really questionable, creepy behavior. For example, take this resurfaced video of Pedro with William Dafoe. We can see William and Pedro are laughing together, seemingly like friends, with Pedro even slightly touching William for a split second, just before touching William's wife, and
It's a bit weird.
openly flirting with her right in front of William, trying to get physical and flirting with her while playing it off just like they're friends. And William's face tells you everything. They go from laughing, being somewhat friendly, to suddenly William looking at
Oh man!
him with a very serious face, clearly being pissed with Pedro. And to be honest, what man wouldn't be, with some other guy touching your wife up?
Yeah.
In fact, there's actually countless videos of these sorts of things. Like when Pedro Pascal was on the red carpet and wrapped his arms tightly around—
I ain't gonna say it is, but it's sussy as frick.
Sarah Paulson, rubbing it up and down repeatedly while whispering something into her ear. It's a really awkward moment as Sarah doesn't seem to be into this, but because the clip was so short, it's really hard to tell what was actually going on here. Dakota Johnson's also said that Pascal takes her clothes and wears them, which on
I mean, okay. It's kind of strange.
the surface, the media purports to be just Pedro being sexually ambiguous, but in reality, it's really strange and creepy behavior.
Okay, you want to wear women's clothes. Everyone's a little bit, you know, girly poppy. You do you. You're your own person. But God, why another person's clothes? Hello?
Yeah. Dakota also revealed that Pedro
go buy your
suggested that she start
own.
an adult content subscription site, all to sell photos of her feet to the public, which
Who says that? Who says that?
was a really strange thing to say. People are starting to think this might just be a case
Is it
of a
defeat?
virtue signaling sexually ambiguous guy, pretending to be this cool, likable, chill guy who doesn't follow societal norms, using this as a front to be a creep. And the more famous he gets, and the more Hollywood puts him in every single
Gets
film
more
and promotes him in
bold.
all the media that they own, the more that he can actually get away with all of this behavior. But people are starting to catch on that Pedro's using a disguise to screw other people's wives, all while never seemingly getting any controversy in the media for doing so, which is why the meme is spreading online that there's something wrong with him but it just can't be proven yet. With people
Not
saying
yet,
quotes,
I
I've
don't
never
know.
seen a 50-year-old man act like this before.
I don't know. It's just always buried women. That's what I think. I don't know about this one, but there's a pattern. Pattern recognition, chat. I don't know.
Guys,
Very
the famous movie
sussy.
star that goes to parties and raves has anxiety, and that's why he must touch his female co-stars. He seems friendly and fun, but a little too friendly and fun. When you know there's something weird about Pedro Pascal, but you just can't prove it yet. Well, everyone knows all of this stuff. We can see it in plain view. These strange moments are racking up tens of millions
He just told her that if she starts OnlyFans, she could earn more money by selling feet pics than acting in movies because all the Dakota movies flopped. That's still not a nice thing to say. I just feel like it's like, yeah, you could be earning more money. Like, you could say that to a garbage bin and be like, yeah, you could earn more money selling feet pics because, you know, being a garbage bin sucks. It's like, okay, that's not a nice thing to say, even to a friend. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, again, this is all like semantics. Like, I feel like some people would be like, that's funny, but I don't know. I think it'd be weird.
views.
To me.
And yet somehow nobody in Hollywood or even the mainstream media calls him out on any of this. Why is he being so protected by the media and Hollywood while
Because he's a
simultaneously
sweetheart.
being—
Everybody recognizes him, so it's really easy to sell tabloids. I don't know if it's that deep as I don't think it's as deep as people saying, oh, well, they're just hiding it. It's like because he's really easy to sell and he's charismatic. I don't know. Industry plant? No, because industry plant would imply he's bad at acting, and I don't think he's bad at acting at all. Genuinely, I think he does a pretty good job. I think what makes it so weird is that they seem to constantly push Pedro as a masculine icon, like ignores his behavior. He's a good actor, but I don't see him in every. I don't want to see him in every movie and show. Yeah, he's an alright actor. Look, industry plant in my head is like Hawk to a girl. Like I never. That to me is an industry plant.
Pushed onto everyone, getting placed in every single film that's coming out.
I don't think he's on that
Well,
level.
there's a lot more going on than you might think. You see, Pedro Pascal is just simply a brand. He's the new guy to seemingly revive Hollywood. Not just because he's talented, but because he perfectly embodies Hollywood's favorite currency, virtue signaling. He'll mention every single talking point Hollywood studios love to virtue signal about. He plays into being a Latino, non-gendered, pro every stance that Hollywood demands you to be kind of guy, whilst also being anti anything that might not look perfect for his brand.
And this actually ties into that video that we talked about earlier. Do you guys remember? With Zegler? With Rachel Zegler, how he has a lot of goodwill because he has been in the industry for at least way longer than she has, makes good movies, and now, you know, like he has the quote unquote the goodwill to do what he wants.
Because he's so valuable to Hollywood.
That's what I was saying. Some people don't notice that.
And seemingly ticking every single box that Hollywood looks for, he's now being pushed onto everyone in an attempt to revive Hollywood movies that seem to bomb every single time. That's why he seems to get a golden pass on anything, publicly clashing with whoever he's told is the enemy. Like in April 2025, when Pedro Pascal randomly called out Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling's celebration of an anti-transgender court ruling heinous loser behavior, which just seems so out of place and random. And then a month later,
it's a safe thing to say. Everybody likes to pile on J.K. Rowling because she says some really unhinged shit that people don't like. She also went off the rails too. She never used to post about like trans stuff. Yeah, safe edgy.
Cannes Film Festival in May 2025, he randomly came out to make a statement about US immigration policy, saying, quote, "Fear is the way they win," urging everyone to keep telling stories and fight back against political intimidation. He was also on all
because he's Latino, people will take it with more stride. Yeah.
Imagine videos where all the celebrities would do a cringe virtue signaling ritual.
Wait, no, don't remind me of all the rich people crying that they have to stay at home. Well, I lose my job and I'm having to sit at home and be like, damn, I can't find a job. I have to eat chicken and rice for another week.
No possessions.
He's also
I completely forgot about that. That was so cringe.
Infamous for having these bland opinions.
Yeah, the Madonna bathtub.
Saying exactly what you'd expect of an actor at the top of Hollywood to say every single time. Which makes you realize this isn't about genuine activism, it's just calculated branding. To appear socially conscious without ever risking Hollywood profits at the box office. He won't go as far as someone like Rachel Zegler, but he'll go just far enough as to look like he's a virtuous, moral man. And so of course, casting him just becomes an easy shorthand for studios to signal their moral credibility, without ever actually going too far. It's why it seems—
True, I wondered, he didn't say anything about Israel and Palestine, huh? Rachel Zegler definitely did.
It's like everything he does is never actually authentic or real. He can seemingly say anything he wants, and unlike other similar actors, he'll never actually be dropped. He'll only ever be promoted even more. For example, just look at the difference between him and his former Mandalorian co-star, Gina Carano. While Pedro faced no professional consequences for his political statements, Gina was fired from the Star Wars franchise in February 2021
that was a big deal.
For her own controversial social media posts. But because what she said didn't fit into the Hollywood narrative, she was dropped from everything and completely blacklisted forever.
Nobody can even deny that, man.
It was so bad that Gina's lawsuit against Disney explicitly highlights this disparity, noting that Pedro compared Trump supporters to Nazis and supported Black Lives Matter and defund the police without ever facing discipline. The lawsuit documented that Pedro could
they
say whatever he
lawsuited
wanted,
up, huh?
as long as it fit the studio's political talking points, claiming that, quote, he was not disciplined and required to review documentaries on any of these topics, or even speak to individuals with contrary points of view
crazy.
or pressure to ever apologize. And yet Gina today is completely forgotten about, while Pedro is pushed everywhere.
True.
He'll dress up all strange, wearing whatever looks
It's because he's a man.
good for his Hollywood strategic branding, and play the anxiety card whenever he can. And with such a perfect disguise, he's seemingly untouchable, meaning he can flirt and possibly do more with other men's wives, and
Unironically, this is probably what I did when I was a little kid with my mom. Obviously, like, my dad too sometimes, but, like, mostly because, like, the mom is the one that reciprocates. If I got bad anxiety, I'd be like, Mom, I rub your hand, please, I want to hold your hand, I'm gonna feel better. It's like, oh my gosh.
disguise, he's seemingly untouchable, meaning he can flirt and possibly do more with other men's wives, and still get rewarded by Hollywood and put in almost every single movie,
bizarre
with nothing in
behavior.
the media even criticizing him. In fact, maybe all of this controversy with Vanessa is calculated too, with this whole social media storm being calculated to get more eyes on the Fantastic Four film. And
Oh, that would actually be a conspiracy theory for sure. Because the DC Marvel Universe, whatever, Marvel Studios, has been falling off really fucking hard. Like, really hard. Nobody's going to watch the movies anymore. Like, nobody really cares. You got your tinfoil condom on? Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. This is like 90% speculation. I know, that's why I have the hat on! That's why it's funny!
Pedro even more for every dollar possible.
Yeah.
But whatever the case is, it's clear that he's a perfect Hollywood puppet, and he'll do whatever he's
I'm
told
a puppet
as long as
too,
he can
it's
get
okay.
more and more fame.
I'm Chat's puppet. Long story short, goodness gracious me, Pedro Pascal, Chat, I need to touch you. I'm feeling bad anxiety. May I touch your butt? I'm having really bad anxiety.